Good Friday afternoon to you. I'm Dakota Makris. First at 4, we begin this afternoon with our severe weather alert day coverage as the potential for another winter storm makes its way into our region. Let's head over now live to meteorologist Evan Hatter.
That's right, Dakota. I'm here at Corbin Arena as we've just kicked off the WYMT Kentucky Fishing Expo presented by Pittsburgh Marine. The doors just open, our crowd trickling in right now, and they're open through 8 o'clock tonight and starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So come on down and have a good time out here, because by the time we head into Sunday, that's when the potential will increase for potentially wintry weather, including a potential winter storm. In fact, we have a winter storm watch in effect for the entire area right now. This runs from Sunday morning through early Monday morning. This will likely be upgraded to a winter storm warning as we get closer to the event heading into the day tomorrow and into the early hours on Sunday as well. As for right now, weather is all quiet. I-75 at Mount Vernon, nothing much going on in terms of any kind of traffic troubles we have out there right now, but we do have that overcast, at least in the Cumberland Valley, as we head out to Whitesburg. Beautiful scene there as the work day and the work week comes to an end here with some sunshine out there. Temperature sitting in the mid-40s, so we have actually gotten a bit warmer in some spots. But notice where that cloud cover sticks around, we remain in the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. Pinpoint Doppler clear right now. That will not be the case later. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies, temperatures around 30. But then things get decidedly wintry as we head into the day on Saturday. I'll have the very latest details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you so much. Well, for many, the winter season can take a toll on our mental health, possibly dealing with seasonal depression, especially now that the hustle and bustle of the holidays are behind us, which can serve as a distraction from the dark, cold conditions. On top of that, mid-January is when many people begin seeing New Year's resolutions fall through.
As we go into our routine of our lives and so forth, you realize that it's kind of hard to do those things, or I don't have time, or whatever thing it is that makes you not follow through.
Well, now on top of these concerns, Kentuckians have gone through so much these past few weeks with severe flooding and now snowstorms. Health leaders over at Mountain View Health say they are seeing an increase of clients every day. Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky is one of the few facilities in our state to receive the Pfizer antiviral pill, and healthcare professionals say they are seeing positive results within days. The Pfizer COVID-19 pill is used to help combat severe COVID-19 symptoms and reduce the risk of hospitalization by 90%. 25 out of the 36 patients who received the Pfizer pill at primary care say they experienced little to no symptoms by the second day of the pill's 5-day supply, a big relief to medical providers.
It's just awesome to see that, and we're so fortunate to be able to offer that to patients. As we know that our monoclonal antibodies are not as effective as what they were initially, we really didn't have a backup plan on how to treat these patients to try to prevent hospitalizations.
Well, they are administering the Pfizer medication to higher risk patients since they have a limited supply. Primary care is expected to receive enough pills to treat 100 patients next week. Some people infected with the coronavirus may still be able to pass it on even after isolating past the recommended time. A new small study in the Journal of Infectious Diseases found the virus was still active in about 13% of people 10 days after a positive PCR test, posing a risk of transmission to others. Well, it has been a rough 24 hours for President Joe Biden. Yesterday, the Supreme Court blocked his vaccine mandate for large businesses, and 2 senators from his own party dealt a blow to his efforts to pass voting rights legislation. Nancy Cordes reports from the White House.
The honest-to-God answer is, I don't know whether we can get this done.
If President Biden sounded exasperated Thursday, it's no wonder. Setbacks came from every direction.
I know we're all frustrated as we enter this new year.
It started with voting rights. The president made his case in person on Capitol Hill, and yet 2 moderate Democrats remained unmoved, refusing to support a change to Senate rules that would make it easier for Democrats to pass major voting reform that Republicans oppose. Arizona's Kirsten Sinema is one of the two Democratic holdouts.
I will not support separate actions that worsen the underlying disease of division infecting our country.
The next blow came from the Supreme Court, which struck down the administration's new OSHA rule requiring workers at large companies to either get vaccinated or get routinely tested. In a 6-3 decision, the court's conservative majority wrote that the OSHA rule is a significant encroachment into the lives and health of a vast number of employees. And they said COVID is not an occupational hazard in most businesses.
It's a big loss for President Biden.
Republicans cheered.
To me, the mandate was a massive overreach by the government.
We're going to have to determine what the next steps are.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked repeatedly Thursday about all the bad news.
Our effort is to do hard things, try hard things, and keep at it. We could certainly propose legislation to see if people support bunny rabbits and ice cream, but that wouldn't be very rewarding to the American people. So the president's view is we're going to keep pushing for hard things.
To that end, Mr. Biden met again last night with the two Democrats blocking his agenda. And he vowed to keep fighting for voting rights, despite the grim prospects.
If we miss the first time, we can come back and try it a second time.
It wasn't all bad news for this White House Thursday. The Supreme Court did uphold a new federal rule requiring vaccinations in many medical settings, and the White House was able to announce that it had procured 380 million COVID tests to be distributed for free to Americans across the country. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, the White House.
Well, Canada's coronavirus vaccine mandate for truck drivers crossing the border starts Saturday. Unvaccinated American truckers will be turned back at the border, while unvaccinated Canadian truckers will have to quarantine and undergo testing. The U.S. will place a similar mandate on Canadian truckers on January 22nd. Some are concerned the mandates will further interrupt already strained supply chains, which would likely worsen inflation. Well, CVS and Walgreens are shutting some pharmacies on weekends due to COVID and staffing issues. The chief of staff at the American Pharmacists Association says pharmacies closing because of staffing pressures is happening consistently across the country. Walgreens says the majority of its stores will stay open and operate with normal business hours. Now it plans to select days with the lowest prescription demand to minimize disruption for customers. CVS says only a fraction of stores will temporarily close on one or both days of the weekend. Heading over to Wall Street on this Friday, the Dow closes down more than 201 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. Well, and back here in the mountains, police officers in Floyd County are getting a chance to take in some new training going into the virtual world to face real-world scenarios. Our buddy Forbes gives us a look into the program.
A law enforcement training program is bringing real-life situations into the virtual world as Prestonsburg police officers work to sharpen up their skill with laser focus. A virtual police training simulator from Kentucky League of Cities is giving officers in the Prestonsburg area a chance to interact with high-stress situations, using gear that is a laser version of the equipment officers take into every call in an interactive space that responds to the officer, testing them as they play through different scenarios.
You know, every day you go out here and you have to do the job, but this is a opportunity to where we can interact with people and actually get good at those situations that you can face each and every day.
Detective Brad Caldwell, one of the instructors, says this program is not only good for the officers, but for bringing others in to show them what these high-stress situations could really look like. In Prestonsburg, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Officers say the training is as close to actual situations as you could get in an electronic world, and it's eye-opening for many who have not been on that side of the call. See more form of the training coming up at 6. Well, when we come back on First at 4, see how one steadily growing form of drumming is being praised for its potential health benefits. Plus, we'll take a look at some other new developments in the world of medicine.
And watching their potential grow for a weekend winter storm. I'll have the very latest in our severe weather alert day coverage right after the break.